to the Strong Women edition of The Weakest Link. The 9 females in the studio tonight are known for their strength of character and their outspokenness. They're in good company. And they're here to play for up to £50,000 for charity. However, if they want that prize money, they'll have to work as a team. But 8 of them will leave with nothing. As one by one we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Margie Clark. I've done most things in television except read the news.
I'm Hilary Alexander, fashion editor of the Daily Telegraph, sometimes known as Uncle Bulgaria.
I'm Lucy Irvin, runaway, castaway, author and Islomane.
I'm Jenny Eclair, writer, comedian and blonde by choice.
I'm Deborah Veal and I just single-handedly rowed across the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm Rosie Boycott. I'm a journalist, writer and a broadcaster.
I'm Andrea Catherwood. I'm ITV's international news correspondent.
I'm Jenny Murray. I'm a writer, a broadcaster, presenter of Radio 4's Woman's Hour and The Message.
Hi, I'm Lynn Franks, and I teach women how to be gorgeous, powerful goddesses.
Now, the rules. In each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Andrea. Let's play The Weakest Link. First question is for £100. Start the clock. Andrea, in anatomy, including both arms and legs, a human being usually has how many limbs?
4.
Correct, Jenny M. In British politics, who was nicknamed the Iron Lady?
Margaret Thatcher.
Correct, Lynn. In getting dressed, most people put what on first, their shoes or their socks?
Their socks.
Correct. Margie, a large portable stereo on which loud music is played is known colloquially as a ghetto what?
Blaster.
Correct, Hilary. In travel, what's the name for a covered carriage towed by a car that is equipped for living in and used as holiday accommodation?
Caravan.
Correct, Lucy. In communications, what E is the term for the telephone number of a specific handset within a building or organisation?
Pass.
Extension, Jenny. In spelling, what is the second letter of the word scientist?
C.
Correct, Deborah. In 1988, Kylie Minogue had a UK #1 single entitled I Should Be So What?
Lucky.
Correct, Rosie. In beauty, on which parts of the body would one normally use a pumice stone, hands or feet?
Feet.
Correct, Andrea. In matrimony, according to the traditional rhyme, marry in the month of May and you'll surely rue the what?
Day.
Correct, Jenny Ann.
Bank.
In maths, which number is represented by a 1 followed by 2 zeros?
100.
Correct, Lynn. In nature, what bee is the name for the clusters of blooms that appear on flowering fruit trees in the spring?
Blossoms.
Correct. Margie.
Bank.
In travel, for what do the letters QE stand in the name of the ship known as the QE2?
The Queen Elizabeth.
Correct. Hilary. In language, Frau is a German word used to address members of which sex?
Females.
Correct,
Housewives.
Lucy. In quotations, who said a man is only as old as the woman he feels? Karl Marx or Groucho Marx?
Groucho.
Correct. Jenny. In food, which dairy product is commonly served with biscuits and wine at a party or after a meal?
Cheese.
Correct. Deborah. In April 2002, which programme won the BAFTA TV Award for Best Soap for the 3rd time in 4 years?
EastEnders.
Correct, Rosie. What P is the name for a brochure issued by a company to attract investors and by a university to draw in new students?
Prospectus.
Not if she helped you. Andrea. In clothing, what 2-word description for a popular style of male underwear is often shortened to boxers?
Boxer shorts.
Correct, Jenny M. The characters Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard appear in the standard version of which board game?
Cluedo.
Correct, Lynn. In film, in which 1965 musical did Christopher Plummer star as Captain Von Trapp?
The Sound of Music.
Correct. Margie.
Bank.
In British media, what type of daily national newspaper is the Daily Mirror? A broadsheet or a tabloid?
A tabloid.
Correct. Hillary. In English grammar, don't is a contraction of which two words?
Do not.
Correct. Lucy. In geography, the interior of which country is known as the outback or bush?
Australia.
Correct. Jenny. In the UK, which letter of the alphabet appears on signs attached to a vehicle to indicate that a driver has not passed his or her test?
L.
Correct. Deborah.
Bank.
In the arts... Time is up, and astonishingly, you have hit the target of £5,000. That money will go through to the next round, but of course one of you will not. Who is already appearing to be rather slow and dim? Who perhaps needed help with their question? Who is too busy showing off? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In an impressive first round, Jenny M is the strongest link. Statistically, Rosie is the weakest link. But who will the players want off at this early stage in the game?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lucy.
Rosie.
Lynn.
Lucy.
Rosie.
Lucy.
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 I love Lucy.
Margie, how's it going for you?
Fine, thank you, Anne. Everything's cool up in Liverpool. We are missing you. Wanting you back up there.
You come from Liverpool, do you?
No, it's just a vicious rumour got up by the press.
You working at the moment?
I'm writing a novel at the moment.
Oh, is that what actresses do when they're resting?
No, I'm actually lecturing as well. I'm teaching, and my head doesn't button up at the back.
Why Lucy?
Only because Lucy just didn't get the answer right at the beginning.
Not because she's pretty?
No, because I don't think that's a
You don't think she is
disadvantage.
pretty?
Well, she's prettier than you, Anne.
Jenny,
Yes, Anne.
what gave you the idea that pink suited you?
Oh, pink. It's useful, it's glowing, it goes with my eyes.
What do you do for a living, Jenny?
I'm a grown-up lady novelist and part-time comedienne.
So you haven't got any work either. You're writing, are you?
I've got a second book, dear lady. And I'm doing a voiceover for a Channel 4 thing. I've just done my first
that's
film.
a very big job. How long will that take?
8 weeks. I talk very slowly.
Why Lucy?
Because she's got a cold and they wouldn't let her bring her tissues on. Her nose is running. It's all quite distracting.
Rosie, what do you do?
I'm a journalist, writer.
Tell me some of the journalism you've done.
Well, I started Spare Rib magazine. I edited The Independent on
You
Sunday.
edited The Independent on Sunday? Just the one newspaper you edited?
No, I edited 3. The Daily Independent and the Daily Express.
Just let me get this straight. You've edited The Independent on Sunday, The Independent and the Daily Express, and when it came to a very simple question, you turned to a PR on the end to get the answer.
She's great. I went blank.
Why, Lucy?
Because she got one question wrong, and with my help from my friend in PR, I got that. That's all.
Were you stuck for something to wear today?
Well, as I don't always wear black like you, which I suppose means you're never stuck, is it that bad?
Lucy, back to your island. We are casting you away. With 6 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Anne asked me a completely daft question for someone who's lived on an island most of my life. We don't have telephone extensions on desert islands. We have satellite phones if we're lucky, or nothing.
Round 2, team. And so far, you have reached the target of £5,000. You're down to 8 players. We are now taking 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jenny M. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Jenny M. In popular music, the song Jingle Bells celebrates the fun it is to ride in a one-horse open what?
Sleigh.
Correct, Lynn. In language, the practice of blatantly overcharging for something is often referred to as daylight what?
Robbery.
Correct. Margie, the title of the 1992 film based on a novel by E.M. Forster is Howard's what?
End.
Correct. Hillary, in lawn tennis, how many points does your opponent win if you serve a double fault, 1 or 2?
1.
Correct. Jenny E. In geography, in which European country is the ferry port of Boulogne?
France.
Correct. Deborah. In pop music, which singer released the UK hit albums called True Blue, Like a Prayer and Erotica?
Madonna.
Correct. Rosie. What C is the job title of someone who delivers urgent packages, often by bicycle or motorcycle? Correct.
Bank.
Andrea. Which informal name for a horse rhymes with Robin?
Dobbin.
Correct. Jenny M. In food, which common phrase of French origin means high-class cooking?
Or cuisine.
Correct. Lynn.
Bank.
What name is given to a school bag with a long strap, particularly one made of leather and fastened with buckles?
Satchel.
Correct. Margie. In 2000, in which Southern Hemisphere country were the Governor-General, Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition all women?
Australia?
New Zealand. Hillary. In baking, what is the term for the technique of stretching, folding and pummeling bread dough?
Kneading.
Correct. Jenny E. In clothing, where does a clergyman fasten the two ends of his dog collar, at the front or the back?
At the back.
Correct. Deborah. In
Bank.
media, what C describes the small advertisements in a newspaper which can include jobs or items for sale?
Classifieds.
Correct. Rosie. In geography, Brandenburg and Bavaria are states in which European country?
Germany.
Correct. Andrea. In TV, which former presenter of Tomorrow's World, Dream House and Mysteries has an IQ of 154?
I don't know.
Carol Vorderman. Jenny M. In nature, the plant product sisal, named after a Mexican port, is used to make which commodity, rope or tequila?
Rope.
Correct. Lynn. In theatre, which musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice focused on the life of Eva Peron? No, it's Evita. Marjorie. In film, Frank Stallone is the less celebrated acting brother of which Hollywood star?
Sylvester Stallone.
Correct. Hillary. In history, what S was the popular name of the movement led by Emmeline Pankhurst?
Suffragettes.
Correct. Jenny E. In language, which word means to twist spirally and is also the name of a type of bottle opener?
Corkscrew.
Correct. Deborah. In
Bank.
computing, the internet is sometimes referred to as the information super what?
Highway.
Correct. Rosie. In travel, in which direction are tolls collected on the Severn Suspension Bridge? Into Wales or out of Wales?
Out of Wales.
No, into Wales. Andrea. In UK honours, which word does a woman put in front of her name as she receives the female equivalent of a knighthood?
Dame.
Dame was the correct answer. Your time is up. Now, you banked £2,500, but that really is quite a tragedy because you had a chain of 10 correct answers. So you could have gone for the target again. Who banked too soon? Who has a strong whiff of failure about them? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
According to the statistics, Jenny E is the strongest link. Margie is the weakest link. But will the team notice that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lynn.
Rosie.
Rosie.
Lynn.
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 Rosie.
Jenny M., remind us what you do.
I present Woman's Hour and The Message on Radio 4.
Is it true that painting your nails is your biggest hobby?
As you discovered when you appeared on Woman's Hour.
Have you any other interests apart from manicuring?
I read a lot.
Oh, do you? In between manicures?
Yes. It's taking care of oneself, isn't it, Anne?
Couldn't your hair do with more time spent on it?
And when I interviewed you, darling, I wasn't rude about your book or your Botox, so lay off.
Why, Lynn?
It's terribly difficult to decide, but I did think that she was the weakest link, although I may have been wrong.
Andrea, what do you do?
I'm a news correspondent.
Where do you correspond from?
From all over the place.
For which channel?
For ITV.
Did they hire you because you're prettier than John Simpson on the other side?
No, I don't think that's why they hired me.
Why, Lynn?
It's really difficult. I remember that she got a question wrong, that's all.
Did you think she was the weakest link?
It's really hard to say. You've got to pick someone, and she was my choice.
OK, well, statistically, the worst player was on the first podium. No one seems to have noticed, Margie.
Oh, that's good, isn't it, Anne?
Lynn, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I feel an incredible sense of relief to be voted off in round 2. I don't know who's going to get voted off next. It could be Margie, because Anne said she was the weakest link.
Round 3, and out of a possible £10,000, you have so far banked 7,500. You're down to 7 players. We are taking another 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jenny E. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Jenny E, what name is shared by a machine used in the construction industry for raising and lifting heavy objects and a large, long-legged bird?
Crane.
Correct, Deborah. In baby's clothing, nappy is a colloquial abbreviation of which word?
Pass.
Napkin. Rosie, in April 2002, which Russian tennis player was told by her sponsors that her failure to win a tournament was jeopardising her promotional contracts?
Pass.
Anna Kournikova. Andrea, in informal speech, what T is a quarrel between lovers?
Tiff.
Correct, Jenny M. What is the English equivalent of the Spanish name Miguel?
Michael.
Correct. Margie, in art, the Hayward Gallery is in which English city?
London.
Correct, Hilary. In a sports centre, what name is given to the small cupboard available to hire for secure storage of personal property during exercise?
Locker.
Correct, Jenny E.
Bank.
In food, in matters of taste, a connoisseur is what, an expert or a novice?
Expert.
Correct, Deborah. In the home, which piece of fabric sharing part of its name with a hot drink is used to dry dishes and other kitchen utensils?
Tea towel.
Correct,
Bank.
Rosie. In fashion, from the 15th to the 17th century, which sex was more likely to have worn a codpiece?
A man.
Correct, Andrea. In nature, what G derived from Chinese is the name of a plant root that is said to have stimulant, tonic and energy-giving properties?
Ginseng.
Correct, Jenny M. In decorating, the word terps used to describe oil-based paint thinners is an abbreviation of which word?
Turpentine.
Correct. Margie, in maths, if a cake is cut into 12 equal slices, 9 slices constitute what percentage of the cake as a whole?
1%.
No, 75%. Hilary, in the UK, the towns of Huddersfield and Halifax are in which county, West Yorkshire or West Sussex?
West Yorkshire.
Correct, Jenny E. In medicine, the disease tuberculosis is also known by which 2 letters?
TB.
Correct, Deborah. In body adornment, a coloured liquid called polish or varnish is usually applied to which anatomical features?
The nails.
Correct,
Bank.
Rosie. In journalism, what C is the job title of a columnist who writes reviews of films and plays?
Critic.
Correct, Andrea. In the UK, what is the 2-word name for a slot in a door often covered by a hinged flap, which is designed to receive post?
Postbox.
No, it's a letterbox. Jenny M. In April 2002, it was confirmed that which member of the royal family had passed his motorcycle test earlier in the year?
Prince William.
Correct. Margie, in motor cars, a coupe model usually has how many doors, 2 or 4?
2.
Correct, Hilary. A common French phrase adopted into the English language and meaning an indefinable something is je ne sais what?
Quoi?
Correct, Jenny E. Time's up, and yet again, you managed to put into the bank £2,500, but yet again, you had a chain of correct answers, 9 this time, so you could have reached the target. Who's all bark and no bite? Who is the femme fatale? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
Jenny E remains the strongest link for the second round in a row. Andrea is the weakest link statistically, but will the votes follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Rosie.
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 Margie.
Margie.
Rosie.
Rosie.
Hilary, is there something wrong with your chest?
Not that I've noticed.
What's all that tin round it?
Well, I like ethnic jewellery, and this is from Morocco. It's one of my favourite pieces. I feel like a warrior woman, and I think I need to be facing you.
Did you not have time to have your hair done today?
I used to have it short, like you, but then I decided to grow it long. My last stab at being a hippie before I get to 60.
How old are you?
57. How old are you?
57.
Oh, we're the same age.
We don't look the same, though. What do you think of female newspaper executives?
Some of them I really admire.
Rosie Boycott.
She was absolutely brilliant when she was editing The Express.
She hasn't been the weakest link statistically, so why have you voted for her 3 times?
I think I've just been aware of the wrong answers. I haven't been noticing who was banking, I must be honest.
Margie, piece of cake, 12 slices. What percentage are 9 slices? You think 1%?
I'm number blind.
Did you do arithmetic at school?
I was at the back of the class.
Did you go to school?
Now and then.
Why Rosie?
Because she was a little bit hesitant.
Well, Rosie, we are editing you out. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Well, I think either Jenny Murray or Jenny Eclair will go on to win. I mean, I think they both seem very quick and on the ball and aren't fluffing up their questions.
Round 4, team, and out of a possible £15,000, you have banked 10,000. You're down to 6 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jenny E again. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Jenny E, in country music, what N is the home city of the US show, the Grand Ole Opry?
Nashville.
Correct, Deborah. In children's literature, which group of characters are the female equivalents of the Mr. Men?
Pass.
The Little Misses. Andrea, in the 1980 film Herbie Goes Bananas, what model of car is Herbie?
A Volkswagen Beetle.
Correct, Jenny M. In science, if the North Pole of one magnet and the South Pole of another are brought together, what is the result, attraction or repulsion?
Repulsion.
No, attraction. Margie, in sport, in 1982, Geraldine Rees became the first woman jockey to complete the course in which famous horse race?
The Grand National.
Correct, Hillary. In language, which word links the name for a small village with the title of a Shakespeare play?
Merchant of Venice.
Hamlet. Jenny E. What B is a popular American name for the card game Pontoon?
Bother, I don't know.
Blackjack. Deborah, in nature, the name of which Roman goddess goes before flytrap to give the name of a carnivorous plant?
Venus.
Correct, Andrea. In clothing, which word can follow hard, sun and bobble to make the names of 3 items of headgear?
A hat.
Correct, Jenny M. In pop culture, Manchester was nicknamed Madchester owing to its hectic dance music scene during which decade, the 60s or the 80s?
The 80s.
Correct. Margie,
Bank.
in geography, Jura and Upper Tweedale are designated national scenic areas of which country of the UK?
Scotland.
Correct. Hillary, in Washington, D.C., in which building are the Blue Room, the State Dining Room and the President's Cabinet?
The White House.
Correct. Jenny E.
Bank.
In a railway station, what is the name for the raised walkway alongside the track that is used by passengers to board trains and to disembark?
Platform.
Correct. Deborah, in DIY, what type of timber is pine, hardwood or softwood?
Softwood.
Correct. Andrea, in maths, what is 20% of 300?
60.
Correct, Jenny M. In British wildlife, the grey type of which mammal was introduced into Britain from North America in the 19th century?
Squirrel.
Correct.
Bank.
Margie, in weather, what ale often occurs during storms and helps to produce nitrates in the soil which are essential for plant growth?
Lightning.
Correct, Hillary. In TV, which female BBC chief news correspondent has reported from war zones in Libya, Iraq and Bosnia?
Kate. Okay. Oh, Kate.
Adie. Time's up. Kate Adie is the correct answer, but you were well out of time. Yet again, you had a chain of 10 correct answers, but you banked far too soon. And you only put in the kitty £1,750, which, sister, won't be missed. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The statistics show that Margie is the strongest link. Hillary is the weakest link as she gave the most incorrect answers. Can she survive the vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Andrea.
Margie.
Hillary.
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 Margie.
Andrea, what do you think of the Daily Telegraph?
I think the Daily Telegraph is fine.
Why are you getting rid of its fashion editor?
I like reading Hillary's writing very much.
Does it help you when you're dressed up in Afghanistan?
I don't know that she's ever done sort of war zone fashion, but I'm sure if she did, she'd do a good job.
Why are you getting rid of her?
I think she was the one that got 2 questions wrong. I'm really not sure, but that's what I thought.
Statistically, Hillary was the worst player. Uncle Bulgaria, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
When you get voted off, it feels a bit sad, actually, because it is quite fun, and I really enjoyed it. I'd like to have gone on, but I fell apart in the third round. I think the team's probably going to get rid of Margie next, because she has fumbled a few questions, and she's had a few wrong answers.
Round 5, and out of a possible £20,000, you have, in the kitty, 11,750. You're down to 5 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Margie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Margie, in football, in May 2002, which Old Firm team won the Scottish FA Cup?
Rangers.
Correct. Jenny, in food, the name of the eating apple with green skin and white flesh is Granny what?
Smith.
Correct. Deborah, which word for a nun is also a form of address used by a woman to a fellow feminist?
Pass.
Sister. Andrea, in UK politics, in which month in 2002 did Chancellor of the Exchequer Gordon Brown deliver his annual budget statement?
April.
Correct. Jenny M, what S is defined as malicious damage done to property with the intention of disrupting the economic or military resources of an enemy?
Pass.
Sabotage. Margie, the actress who was born Susan Weaver chose the first name Sigourney after a character in which novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald?
A diamond as big as the Ritz.
Great Gatsby. Jenny E. In 1980s fashion, the trousers for women made from stretchy fabric with elasticated straps for the feet were known as what pants?
Slacks.
Ski pants. Deborah, in science, the ozone layer plays a critical role in absorbing much of which form of radiation from the sun, ultraviolet or infrared?
Ultraviolet.
Correct. Andrea, in April 2002, in which sport did Princess Anne unveil White Lightning, the British challenger for the 2003 America's Cup?
Sailing.
Correct. Jenny M. In TV, because of his role calling out the numbers on the BBC National Lottery programme, Alan Dedicoat was nicknamed the voice of the what?
Balls.
Correct. Margie, in the British workplace, what R is a 4-letter word for the list of shift times or duties allocated to individual employees?
Redundancy.
Rota. Jenny E. In film, what surname was shared by a Swedish director called Ingmar and a Swedish actress named Ingrid?
Bergman.
Correct. Deborah, in formal written English, if a sentence does not end with an exclamation mark or question mark, it must end with which punctuation mark?
Full stop.
Correct. Andrea.
Bank.
In the UK, the DSA is the executive agency responsible for conducting what? Consumer surveys or driving tests?
Driving tests.
Correct. Jenny M. In which American state are the national parks of Joshua Tree, Lassen Volcanic and Redwood? Colorado. Time's up. The correct answer is California. And in that round, you went right down the drain. You only banked £750. So, which superwoman has lost her cape? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
As the only player to get all her answers right, Andrea is the strongest link. Jenny M is the weakest link according to the statistics. But will the other players realise that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Deborah.
Deborah.
Margie.
Margie.
Deborah.
Jenny or Claire?
What?
Can you not spell Deborah?
No, I can't. I didn't like to go like that because then she'd have known, you see, that I was going to write her name and it could have all got ugly.
You do a one-woman show, do you?
Yes, because nobody else will work with me.
Have you voted off Deborah because you don't like women who row single-handedly?
I can't stand them. The truth is out.
Jenny M, how old are you?
I'm actually 52, but I have decided to say I'm 49 3/4 for the foreseeable future.
What year were you born?
Gosh, there's a teaser. When would it have been?
Can you remember, or are you still working it out?
Like Margie, I'm totally number blind. I just can't work these things out. So if I were 52, it would have been 1950, because that would have been easy to work out, because all you do is, judge it by the half century.
It's taken you quite a long time to come up with 1950. Hasn't it, Jenny M?
Yeah.
Why Deborah?
I thought she was hesitant and didn't answer all the questions right and didn't bank very much money.
Deborah, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think being on the weakest link with that strong woman special group was almost more intimidating than actually having to face the wrath of Anne Robinson, because there's some seriously feisty women out there.
Round 6, and you have £12,500 so far. There are 4 of you left. We are cutting another 10 seconds from your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Andrea. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Andrea, in radio, the programme Gardener's Question Time, which has run since 1947, is broadcast on which national BBC station?
On Radio 4.
Correct. Jenny M. In DIY, what P is the term for the process of finishing the exterior joints in brickwork using strong mortar?
Plastering.
Pointing. Margie, which primary colour can precede the words card, cross and carpet to make 3 well-known phrases?
Red.
Correct. Jenny E. In 1996, which US TV chat show host launched her own book club in order to encourage Americans to read more?
Oprah Winfrey.
Correct, Andrea.
Bang.
In theatre, the Las Vegas entertainers Siegfried and Roy are famous as what? Clowns or magicians?
Magicians.
Correct. Jenny M. In maths, what is half of 192?
Not a clue.
96. Margie. In Chinese cooking, what name is given to the sauce combining the contrasting tastes of sugar and vinegar and usually served with pork or chicken?
Monosodium glutamate?
No, sweet and sour sauce. Jenny E. In history, in medieval England, the punishment for high treason was to be hanged, drawn and what?
Quartered.
Correct, Andrea. In education, what G is the study of the world, its features and its inhabitants?
Geography.
Correct, Jenny M. In TV, a controversial play that the BBC did not transmit in the late 1980s, but which was finally broadcast in 2002, was about which conflict?
The Falklands War.
Correct, Margie. In April 2002, scientists discovered a super colony of which social insect stretching for more than 3,000 miles across Europe?
Ants.
Correct. Jenny E. In pop music, UK hit albums of which female Irish singer include I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got and Universal Mother?
Sinead O'Connor.
Correct, Andrea. In food packaging, when the number of an additive is preceded by the letter E, it has been accepted as safe by which organisation?
I don't know.
The European Union. Jenny M. In geography, the Midway Islands are located in which ocean?
The which islands, I'm sorry?
The Midway Islands.
Atlantic.
Pacific. Margie, in compass bearings, the letters NE stand for what?
North, southeast?
No, NE is for northeast.
Oh.
Jenny E. Time's up and you bank £1,250. But who, frankly, is a one-woman fiasco? Who's looking shell-shocked? Who isn't presenting themselves very well? And who's the scouse without any nous? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
Jenny E is the strongest link because she didn't get an answer wrong. Jenny M remains the weakest link for the second round in a row. Can she survive another vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Andrea.
Margie. Margie.
Margie.
Jenny M, did you think Margie was the weakest link?
No.
You noticed, did you?
I think I was the weakest link, but I'm not going to vote for myself, am I?
Why Margie?
I think after me she was the weakest link.
Margie, who doesn't know that NE stands for northeast, I hope she can find her way down the walk of shame. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
See ya. Don't want to be ya.
I more than surpassed my expectation today because, I left school without an O level and I didn't think I was going to get very far at all. So I'm really pleased that I got in the last 4.
Round 7. So far, you've won £13,750. You're down to 3 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jenny E. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Jenny E, the words opera, balcony and incognito are all derived from which modern language?
Italian.
Correct. Andrea, in March 2002, an exhibition opened at the National Museum of Photography, Film and Television to mark the 40th anniversary of which film series?
I don't know.
James Bond. Jenny M, in technology, what name was given to the supposed programming error which it was thought would disrupt computers in the year 2000?
The Millennium Bug.
Correct. Jenny E, in UK TV, what is the surname of Mariella who present? Correct.
Sorry.
Andrea, modern artists such as Tracy Emin are sometimes described as YBAs, which stands for Young What Artists?
British artists.
Correct. Jenny M. In UK road travel, when manually operated stop-go boards are used, what colour is the background for the go sign?
Green.
Correct. Jenny E. In literature, the female author whose books include Larger Than Life, Game Over and Playing Away is Adele who?
Morris.
Parks. Andrea, in pop music, singer Danielle O'Donnell was born in which European country?
In Ireland.
Correct. Jenny M. In maths, what is 2 multiplied by 1.5?
3.
Correct. Jenny E. In geography, more than 40% of cultivated land in Japan is devoted to the production of which cereal grain?
Rice.
Correct. Andrea, what term is both a surgical heart operation to aid circulation and a road built around a town as an alternative route for through traffic?
An artery, a bypass.
No, I have to accept your first answer. Bypass is the correct answer. Jenny M. What a word is the term for the drink made from the liquid in fruit and is also an informal term for petrol?
Gas.
Juice. Jenny E. What name is given to a hinged barrier that provides an opening within a wall or fence?
Gate.
Correct. Andrea. In Formula One motor racing, in which country are the headquarters of the Ferrari racing team?
In Italy.
Correct, Jenny M. According to legend, the only way to kill a werewolf is with a bullet made of which precious metal? Silver. Correct. Time's up and you banked £850. Now, in round 8, you get the opportunity to treble what you bank, which means in the next round, it is possible to win £15,000. The question is, who are you going to hang on to? Who are you going to get rid of? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
At this crucial stage in the game, Jenny E remains the strongest link. Statistically, Andrea is the weakest link. But what will the other players consider when casting their final votes?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Andrea.
Jenny M.
Andrea.
Jenny, why are you getting rid of the young, attractive war correspondent?
You know what it's like with younger women around you, and you don't really like them, do you? No, I think she's charming, talented, and that is why she must go.
Jenny M, sometimes Andrea's on television every night of the week.
There was a time when I was on television every night of the week. And then I realised
what
a long, drawn-out, difficult business it is, and I went to the wireless because it's lovely there.
Oh. So you're not resentful of Andrea being on television?
Not in the slightest. She's welcome to it, bless her.
Oh, and you're not patronising either, are you?
I think you and I came out of the same egg, didn't we, really? But you, of course, came out of it before I did. By several years.
I don't think we can be sure about that, Jenny. Why Andrea?
Well, I don't think there was much in it between her and me, so what can I tell you? Sorry, Andrea.
Andrea, this is one war you won't be able to report from the front line. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'll tell you something, it is actually really nerve-wracking out there. I would rather be away somewhere, you know, quite terrifying on a front line than be in the weakest link studio. It really was quite scary.
Round 18, and you've won £14,600. You have 90 seconds in this round, but whatever you win will be trebled. So £15,000 is up for grabs. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jenny E. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Jenny E. In the UK, which county takes its name from the fact that it was home to the East Saxons?
Sussex.
Essex. Jenny M. Which word, coined in the 90s, means a hard-drinking, crude, assertive girl equivalent to the male new lad?
Ladette.
Correct. Jenny E. In fashion, which type of jumper with a high rollover collar shares part of its name with a sport played on horseback?
Polo.
Correct. Jenny M. In food, the dark green iron-rich leaves of which plant can be eaten raw or cooked and are the favourite food of a cartoon sailor?
Spinach.
Correct. Jenny E. In modern literature, novels such as Bridget Jones's Diary and its imitators are informally described as what lit?
Chick lit.
Correct.
Bank.
Jenny M. In politics, the 1993 Declaration signed by John Major and Albert Reynolds is known by the name of which London street?
Pass.
Downing Street. Jenny E. In armaments, Trident, Pershing and Polaris are the names of 3 examples of which weapon?
Warheads.
Correct. Jenny M. In literature, author Josephine Cox wrote the 2001 novel The Woman Who What?
Came home.
Left. Jenny E. In transport, what name is given to the part of a bicycle held by the rider and used for steering?
The handlebars.
Correct. Jenny M. In folklore, which word is invariably used to describe a house that is regularly visited by a ghost?
Haunted.
Correct. Jenny E. In food, the name of which herb is derived from the Greek for king?
Regis.
Basil. Time's up. Between you in that round, you managed to win £1,000, which will treble and add to the winnings from the previous round. That means prize money tonight of £17,600. But only one of you can take that money away for your charity, so now you'll play against each other head-to-head. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. So Jenny E. and Jenny M. for £17,600. Let's play the weakest link. Jenny E. is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
I'd rather get it over and done with. Please, may I go first, Dan?
Jenny E. In modern literature, which politician wrote the 2002 autobiography entitled Momentum?
Pass.
Correct answer is Mo Mowlam.
Oh! Yes, sorry. I knew that. Sorry, you should have gone first.
Jenny M. In Greek mythology, what type of monster had the face and body of a woman and the wings and claws of a bird?
A hydra?
No, the correct answer is harpy. Jenny E. In film, which actress won Oscars for her performances in Tootsie and Blue Sky?
This is a really easy one, isn't it?
Please don't speak out loud because I have to take it as the answer to your question.
Well, I have forgotten the answer.
The correct answer is Jessica Lange. Jenny, in 1981, which US First Lady said a woman is like a tea bag? It's only when she's in hot water that you realise how strong she is.
Laura Bush?
No, Nancy Reagan is the correct answer. Jenny E. In music, what 6-letter word with no vowel letters means the pattern of beats in a melody or the ability to dance in time?
Rhythm.
That is the correct answer. Jenny M. In April 2002, which West End musical had to close temporarily one day after its opening night owing to car trouble?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
That is the correct answer. Jenny E. In the media, Lord Nome is the fictional owner of which satirical magazine?
Private Eye.
That is the correct answer. Jenny M. In 1965, which writer and academic, originally from Australia, became one of the first women to join the Cambridge Footlights Comedy Club?
Germaine Greer?
That is the correct answer. Jenny E. In geography, which African country has a name that is an anagram of the capital city of Peru?
I'm so bad at anagrams. I've gone.
The correct answer is Mali. Jenny M., if you answer this question correctly, you have won. So for £17,600. In literature, the 2001 novel Hollywood Wives, The New Generation, is by which best-selling British author?
Jackie Collins.
That is the correct answer. That means, Jenny M., you are tonight's strongest link. You have won £17,600. What are you going to do with the money?
It's going to the Parkinson's Disease Society.
Jenny E., you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
Some of the questions were really hard. It was a matter of luck whether you knew them or not. I knew geography was going to be my downfall.
Actually, Jenny Eclair, another Jenny, also Red Nails, should have won because she was stronger than I was for longer. But it's the luck of the draw.